Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So today we're back in The Sims 4 for the third episode of my Legacy Diaries series. If you haven't seen any of the series so far, I'll link the first episode in the cards and paste the rules for this first generation in the description down below. So this episode, unlike the previous two, will be spanning over 2 in-game weeks, just so that we can move the challenge along slightly. I've been doing this alongside some lovely people in the Holly Crossing Discord, and they are all on their third and fourth generations, and we are still in our first. So with that said, let's stop wittering and get into the gameplay. So the first thing that I did for this episode was downloaded a mod which can generate portraits of the current household, which is perfect for generational gameplay like this, where you want to kind of keep track of how your family has evolved throughout the generations and over time. So you can actually lock the portraits in place so that then as your household changes and grows and gets smaller maybe, you can then kind of keep track of what it was like at a certain point in time. So I'll leave the link to this mod down below because it is absolutely fantastic. So we kicked off the day by going to visit a new family who just moved into the neighbourhood with the hopes of getting them to sign the petition to repeal the Tech Neighbourhood Action Plan. I found this family and the house on the gallery, but then I also added 2 sons and another dog just to, expand the family a little bit, give them a little bit more personality. And the first person that we came across was the mother of the family, Anita Flower, and she was actually kind enough to sign the petition, which was really nice. So after we got Anita to sign the petition, we actually went and met the rest of the family, including the 2 sons, who we found out were called Tristan and Isaac. They were really nice. They liked swimming in their pond, which was a little bit weird, but we're not going to judge them too hard. I think Chloe definitely wants to get to know them a little bit better, so stay tuned because we will certainly be doing that throughout this episode. So after we chatted to them for a little while, we went home and Lilith actually wanted to come round, so we cooked a dinner and we had a little catch up. Speckles attacked her again. I think I'm finally starting to understand the relationship between Speckles and Lilith. It's definitely a strained one, Lilith steals one of Speckles' balls, Speckles attacks her is kind of the way that things go. So yeah, we cooked Lilith some dinner and we just had a bit of a catch up and we chatted about the new family that we just met and how we thought that, some of the guys in that family were kind of cute. So after a little while, the weirdest thing happened. Tristan showed up. He came in to chat with us for a while and also had a bit of dinner, which was really cute. I think Lilith likes him and approves of him, is all I'm gonna say for right now. So yeah, we stayed up for a little while to chat to them, but Chloe didn't stay up for too long because she was actually kind of tired, and so she just headed up to bed and left these two to get to know each other a little bit. So the next morning we woke up and worked on fizzing some new juices and dipping some candles. Part of the maker aspiration is that we have to obviously get our fabrication skill up, and that's actually taking quite a while, so we're going to be dedicating quite a lot of time this episode to just dipping candles. And while we were doing that, the neighborhood action plan marshal dude came around again, and we were actually told that we'd broken a rule, so I don't know what that was. I'm pretty sure it was the dew collector again. So later that day, our bestie Tina Tinker invited us round to her house. After the dinner party we had at the end of the last episode, Tina and her wife Yasmin actually fell in love with the countryside of Windenburg and decided to move here from where they were living in Evergreen Harbour. I moved them into this beautiful farmhouse. Again, I did not build this, but I'm trying to build the aesthetic of a very farmy countryside. So they are now living out here, but the interior of their house is super modern, even though the exterior is pretty traditional and farmhousey, which I kind of think describes these two super perfectly. So after chatting to the girls a little bit, they actually encouraged us to ask Tristan out on a kind of date. So we took him out to the Planet Honey Pop karaoke bar in the fashion district of San Myshuno. It was actually happy hour, so we could get some drinks as well, but we also spent some time going and checking the produce stall to see if we could find a dragon fruit being sold there, because that is one of the most valuable harvestable crops in the game, so I definitely wanted to try to find one to add to the garden. We didn't end up spending too long in the bar because it was kind of busy there. It was quite difficult to actually chat to Tristan. So we decided to take the date home, and we just had some dinner together. And then I felt the need to, for no reason whatsoever, adjust Chloe's bedroom so that it could accommodate 2 people. Wink, wink. So, with that being said, we then in fact did take the date upstairs, and we, had our first kiss in the bathroom. We did ask Tristan to stay around, but he was very respectful and he said he'd sleep downstairs, not trying to take anything too far too fast. So I'm not sure whether he was trying to make a good impression, but Tristan actually got up early the next morning and attempted to bake a cake for us. Stress on the attempt to bake. It didn't go that well, but you know what, he tried, and I loved that about him. So that day was actually Harvest Fest, so the gnomes had come out to see us, and we also put up some decorations. We appeased the gnomes by giving them, I believe, some coffee and maybe a future cube, I'm not sure. But if you guys haven't seen this before, it means that they, once you've appeased them, they will actually drop seed packets, which for Chloe and her garden is fantastic. So although Tristan left earlier that morning, he actually invited us out on another date to the Salty Paws Saloon in Brindleton Bay, and I absolutely love this bar. I think that it's so cute and it works in this world so perfectly. So yeah, we decided to come outside and just have a little chat, get to know each other some more. We have, as you can see, got that romance bar up quite a little bit. This was a very cute moment. Yeah, we really got to know him, and we then also took some cute pictures together. The one with Tristan in front of the crab sign is one of my favourite pictures I've ever took in the game. So we then took the date back home again, and then into the shower, and then the next morning into bed again. What can I say? I think that this is going to develop into an absolutely beautiful relationship. So that morning, Speckles also aged up into an elder, so from now on he'll be getting so much extra love and hugs and treats. You'll also see him probably drinking at the toilet a lot during this episode. I decided to just let him do it because he's an old man and decides to live his best life, whatever that means for him. So if you see him doing that, no judgments here, please. So we passed the day by doing a lot of chores, and then Tristan came round again. They are getting on so well. He decided to just stay the night again, and we also decided to make their relationship official, which was very exciting. So they're now going out, and the next day they actually decided to go to the romance festival together, which there could not have been a more perfect timing for, this brand new couple to go to the romance festival. I don't know what it is. So we got some of the tea, and we also, I believe, found a couple of dragon fruits, which was very cool. And then we actually decided to ask the romance guru what he thought about our new relationship, because if you remember from a few episodes ago, we actually asked him what he thought about our romantic future, and he said that it was bleak. This time he said that our relationship was going to be like a burning donkey. I don't know how to interpret that, but I'm going to take it as a good thing, I think. So yeah, we ended our night at the romance festival by getting some dinner together and then heading home and, celebrating what the romance guru said, is all I can say to that. And then the next morning we woke up and it was the first day of winter, and the snow had come out and it was absolutely beautiful. This part of Winterfest is so amazing during the winter. I love it. So because we did find the dragon fruits at the romance festival, I decided to buy a couple of planter pots so that we could start them growing, because they were now out of season and they make so much money that I wanted to capitalize on that. So the first day of winter was also Chloe's birthday, and as you can see right now, we're throwing her a birthday party. We decided to get all the girls over. We of course invited over Tristan, and we also invited his brother Isaac, because we should probably be a good girlfriend and try to get to know him slightly better. So we baked ourselves a cake. I made it a white cake to try and continue this running joke of white cakes now. So yeah, Chloe aged up into an adult. The rest of the party was really fun. We tried to take some time to get to know Penny and Nina Caliente a little bit better because we've kind of, let them fall to the wayside a little bit. So yeah, then we kind of ended the party by all eating some cake and then taking dessert upstairs. I don't know how many more of these innuendos I can fit in here. So Tristan, of course, stayed around again, and the next morning we actually woke up and they talked about it and decided that it was just time for Tristan to move in. He'd basically been living here all week anyway. They'd been getting on really well, so Tristan did move into the household today, which was really exciting. We spent much of that day just building skills because Tristan is really artistic. He's got the artist aspiration, and so I thought that it was time for him to work on his painting skill and start to build that up as an extra source of some money, because as part of my challenge that I'm making here in this first generation, nobody can have a actual job, so it's just going to be through making things that we can actually make money for this first generation, which if you can look at our household funds now, we're actually not doing too bad at, but that night in celebration, Tristan's parents actually invited us round for like a little catch up, a little get to meet the family moment, and Anita, Tristan's mum, actually made white cake for dinner, which now it all makes sense. We now know where Tristan got his awful baking skills from. But saying that, Tristan's mum did make a lovely cake. So yeah, we all just sat around the table and ate that and got to know each other a little bit. We ended up not staying too long. We didn't want to impose ourselves. So after we'd eaten our cake, we then headed home. So the next day, while working on his painting skill, Tristan actually earned himself a fame point, which was really exciting. We probably won't take it too far, but while we were doing that, the neighborhood action plan overlord man came over and, we had to pay him off again to overlook our water collector infringement somehow. I'm sorry, we're trying to save the environment. What can I say? So then the next day was also Winterfest, which was very exciting. And Tristan came downstairs early to try to decorate before Chloe came downstairs, and it was actually such a weird day because as he was doing that, he got a phone call saying that his dad had passed away, which was really sad and unexpected, and I didn't even realize that it was, he was that old. And so, Chloe came downstairs, he told her what happened, and it may have seemed a little bit out of the blue, but they actually decided after they opened some presents to go and try for a baby. I think, with the sudden death of his dad, they just kind of realized life's too short, and Chloe is now an adult. Tristan, I don't think, is long off being an adult, and so why not? They love each other, they want a family together, so they, went at it. Sadly, it didn't happen the first time, so they decided to take a break. They got some lunch, and here is where Winterfest gets even weirder because Chloe got a phone call saying from somebody really mysterious not to open the front door. So I was now really scared, but then they went upstairs, they didn't think about it, they tried again, and Chloe is in fact now pregnant, and it was so cute because Tristan was actually really excited about that, and it was really nice because then Tina actually came over to give Chloe a present, for Winterfest. They are best friends, and it was nice that we then actually got the opportunity to tell her best friend straight away. So then Tina came in and we opened a couple more presents together, and just caught up with her rather. So yeah, that was really cute for the Winterfest evening. So then later that night, the Father Winter imposter came over. I'm pretty sure the original one has died, so yeah, now we've got this imposter, but he was nice enough to give us some presents anyway, so we'll forgive him. Yeah, we just took a bit of time to chat to him, get our presents, and then Tristan and Chloe headed to bed. So then the next morning, Tristan and Chloe came downstairs and had some leftover roast dinner for breakfast, which for me, I don't know about you guys, is one of the best bits about Christmas, is getting to eat the leftover Christmas dinner. But we never actually found out what that mysterious phone call was about, so if any of you guys have ever experienced that event, please let me know if you had a different outcome to me. So then later that morning, Tina's wife, Yasmin, actually came over, and while Chloe was having a little chat with her, we actually got another phone call saying that Tristan's mum, Anita, had died, which was just also another totally unexpected thing that happened. And I think that really just solidified their decision to have a baby right now. And also on that note, Tristan's brother Isaac is also now all alone in the big house with just the dogs, so I don't know whether we should do something for him. If you guys have any suggestions, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below. The rest of the day was then just spent dedicated to a lot of self-care, you know, crying out in bed, having hugs with Speckles, and, you know, having baths and stuff like that. The next morning, if things couldn't get any worse, we woke up and found that Speckles was sick. So Tristan, being the amazing boyfriend and baby daddy that he is, took him to the vets before Chloe even woke up and had to see him like that, because I can imagine that stress while being pregnant is not ideal. And while we were at the vets, we also picked up an age down treat for Speckles, because you know what, these two have had enough death and loss in the last couple of days, and we just don't need it right now. You know, Speckles is Chloe's best friend, you know, maybe other than Tina, but I'm pretty sure she loves Speckles more. So yeah, we also then paid for the most bougie treatment that we could for him, because he deserves it. We've, you know, worked our butts off to get lots of money so that then we can just take care of ourselves as best as possible. So we then, once Speckles got treated, we came home and then we gave him the age down treat so that then he would then be a nice young doggo again, and he could just run around to his heart's content and attack people as much as he wants. Because that is why we love Speckles, because he is just the best guard dog and friend and toilet drinker that we could ever imagine. So then that afternoon it was the Spice Festival again, so we got the gang together, including Tristan's brother Isaac, and we went over there. Chloe did not try out the spicy curry challenge because, again, pregnant, curries, spice, don't think that is a good combination. Please correct me if I'm wrong, I've never had a baby before. But yeah, so Tristan then took a bit of time to catch up with his brother, see how he's doing, you know, now that he's just been left alone with the dogs. So yeah, we also then spent some time chatting to Lilith, and come to think of it now, after this episode, I feel like we spent so much more time getting to know Lilith that, you know, Tina might actually have some competition for being Chloe's best friend. I don't know. And then the next morning, it was actually New Year's, so Chloe made some pancakes for these two for breakfast, which was really cute. They just sat together and had some breakfast. We will eventually get a dining table because that is something that we definitely need. And then, yeah, it was just another kind of self-care day, skill building day, Speckles care day. You know, we gave him a nice little bath, it was all clean. And then while some random chick came round, Chloe actually went into labour. I think it was the stress of having a stranger kicking about that just did it for her. So then Tristan took her to the hospital, and yeah, once we'd got all checked in, we headed into the operating room. It was a really quick birth. So then Chloe gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. I wanted to give him a wintry name because he was, you know, conceived on Winterfest, born on New Year's Eve. And so I decided to name him Jack because, you know, Jack Frost, all that good stuff. And Tristan tried to take this really cute picture of Chloe holding the baby, but sadly his photography skill is not amazing and he somehow managed to mess up every single picture. Like, if there was not a more important picture to take in your whole life, you decided that it was this one that you'd make blurry and put your thumb over the lens for. Can't even. So then they went home and just took a bit of time to take care of little baby Jack. They both set some New Year's resolutions. Tristan wanted to improve his skills and Chloe wanted to drop a little weight. You know, she just had a baby. I don't think that's a bad thing. And then that evening, Tristan just out the blue decided to propose to Chloe, which I just think that it was perfect. They decided just why wait, you know? So look out for wedding bells, and if there was not a better way to kick off the New Year's, it was definitely with a bang. I'm really sorry. Well guys, that's it for this episode. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you've got any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you're having an amazing day and I'll see you again soon.